happy Thursday. I'm just going to have a quick chat before the kids get back. It's 7:30 in the morning and I've been up since about 3:30, so I'm getting pretty tired now, but I felt blocked from doing a video again. And when I think about signs and wonders and synchronicities, I think about what I have consciously chosen to be aware of, because I feel like the divine is always around. And so the signs and wonders and messages that I've had in this last couple of weeks have all been about choosing my words carefully and you know, not being as flippant with things. So I've been internally pondering whether it's directly to do with this channel, you know, and whether to actually have a think about the direction I want to move myself in, or if I want to continue just being exactly who I am and what I am and just doing the same thing as now. If I can incorporate other things into that aspect of myself, which is me talking shit, into here as well, or if I need a separate platform to express creatively other aspects of myself, if you know what I mean. So I'm having this sort of battle. So I thought I'd do a video and just see how it flows and see what I wanted to talk about and just see if I can get it out there. But yeah, I'm wondering, because I love singing, but I'm not confident enough to just belt a song out on here. So I think about ways that I might be able to record a song and, you know, incorporate it into my creativity and this outlet of expression without feeling like it's too naked, you know. I'm still struggling with my self-consciousness and my self-confidence. So yeah, whereas like if I had a different channel and I didn't show my face, I'd feel like I could sing on it and I could, you know, record songs and I could talk about certain different things or whatever that didn't relate to this aspect of myself. So I don't know, I'm having these sort of pulls at the minute, and I don't know whether this is energetically as well affecting me more because of the astrology, because I'm a Capricorn sun, Cancer rising, which is the opposite end of the zodiac. So I'm imagining, you know, some sort of conflicting energies anyway. And the other placements of my planets in my natal chart are very heavy. I've got 9 planets within 2 houses in 2 signs, and a lot of focus on certain aspects. And yeah, so I just feel like I've been given some special attention in terms of increased vibrational frequencies, opportunities to heal. I don't know, like dreams have been quite heavy in terms of lucidity again, but it's more like it feels less fear-based and more sort of get down to work, you know, in the astral planes, if you know what I mean. It's like putting things in place, like building somehow, you know, setting structures. So I can philosophize or theorize however much I want, from the macro to the micro, about what that means for me, or the external truth or whatever. But yeah, so I'm in this little quandary at the moment. But basically, I think what I just want to talk about is, so sun in Capricorn, Cancer ascendant, Cancer rising, moon in Virgo, you know, and what's going on in the skies at the moment has a lot to do with Capricorn and Cancer energies, and the sun and the moon, so as well as, I don't know, Mercury or something else. But so you know, maybe this is my time, you know, to just sort of plan. I don't know, I feel like I'm sort of sitting on things, I'm waiting patiently, or I'm waiting for the moment to like get into action. I felt so much stagnation over the last few months, the last 6 months really, and I feel like I'm like, you know, I'm in training to like egg myself on and big myself up and love myself so I can burst out, you know, and set off on my path. Anyway, so what I was pondering is the awakening and the individual breakdown of reality, and the choice then to revert back to old patterns or old ways or old paradigms, to go back to sleep, to go back to 3D. And then the term ignorance is bliss kept coming up, and that's always been a big thing in my reality. The pondering of it, is ignorance bliss? Ignorance is bliss, is it, and is it not? And in so many ways it fucking is, especially when you're sort of tired of this relentless healing journey and you're like, oh, wouldn't it be easier, if I didn't ponder these deep things, and if I didn't perceive things in a certain way, and if I could just have a chippy and watch Netflix with my friends, instead of sort of staring at the sky and pondering shit that people think, not shit, pondering the good shit, but the stuff that so many people just are not aware of. So it's this, the awakening, no matter which strand you enter it through, then the choice happens whether to acknowledge the divine or to deny the divine. I think that is it. And so if you acknowledge the divine, it means incorporating and learning from the dark, from the shadow of yourself, your lessons, your projections, your experiences, everything. You have to acknowledge, take accountability and responsibility for every experience in your life up to this point in order to walk in the light. And so it's difficult, and it's a journey for the brave souls. It's the hero's journey. And so the path becomes narrower, things get harder because you know better, and you understand energy in a much different way. And for me, this whole thing is like understanding energy, my own trapped energy, my ability to emit energy, and all the different kinds of energy, and how the mind and the body and the soul are all sort of intermingled. But really, I just feel like the essence of my awakening is acknowledging the divine, which is there all the fucking time, It's like, it's always there. It's just, are we switched on to it? Are we open to receive it? And then obviously we get to interpret through our individual filters that divine benevolence, that source energy. And we use that to create however we want, and to create, hopefully, more happy, harmonious lives for ourselves and the rest of humanity. But yeah, it's difficult sometimes, and so many people are not on that path, and they have chosen to deny or to not go there yet. And it's just one of those things. And so I don't judge anybody or anything, but again, I want to give my original blueprint chance to shine and to just be as I am, just be who I am. So I need more ways of expressing myself, different outlets. And I've got a slight plan for some outdoor stuff, if you know what I mean, in terms of starting off my things, walking the walk, I guess. So yeah, but I just feel this sort of conflicting energy of the minute. It was like, I've got to go, I've got to do this, got to do that, and then going, no, everything's distractions taking you away from the present moment. But then acknowledging that I'm using that as a defense mechanism sometimes to shield myself from letting myself free, I've heard this a lot as well recently, and I'm going to quote it wrong, but essentially it's just that it's scarier when you acknowledge your own power, your own ability to succeed and to thrive. That's a scary thing. That's what we're terrified of. It's our own lie. And I really do feel that tangibly. It's like, that you can do anything. And it's like, go on then, start doing it. And you're like, oh, I'm not ready yet. But basically, yeah, the acknowledging the divine, peeling back the illusions and the veils of indoctrination or anyone else's bullshit, or your childhood programs or your adulthood programs or your trauma programs, whatever. It's deprogramming and rerouting your brain, and it's both a spiritual and a physical thing. And hopefully, things will be understood in a much better way soon, where it's not going to be pseudoscience or woo-woo to talk about these things and to philosophize. But anyway, yes, what's been on my mind is continued ponders about the ridiculousness of NASA, all footage from space, the continued propaganda that we landed on the moon, and that type of thing. And people can't understand how I can not, how I can claim that I'm not cynical, that I question all these narratives. And I really can do it without being cynical. I feel like I'm a free, innocent soul, like I've always been. I've never taken the programming for that type of thing anyway. I've always pondered and stared at the stars and the skies and the clouds and the sun and the moon and things like that. But I've never retained the information of a heliocentric model, so I find it easy to disregard, because the other findings and the other theories resonate more with my internal philosophies, I guess, So it's not cynical for me, it's sort of freeing, and that's what we should all be free to do. And that's kind of what the awakening's about for me. It's so you can be free to interpret the divine however you bloody want. And that includes, so I question Darwin's theory of evolution. I don't think we came from monkeys. Obviously I question the Big Bang. And Einstein's theory of relativity. I question gravity. And I think, and again, it's not that I disregard these phenomena that are within these theories. I just think they're misunderstood and mislabeled and manipulated. So, for example, I just think that everything is of an electromagnetic nature, and everything's to do with that, sound, light and frequency, and perceptions of that. And, I feel like we're on an infinite plane, and for my senses, it's like the moon, the sun, the stars, they're all revolving around us. And so I don't believe that we live on a spinning globe, I'm not buying into ice walls or anything like that. But innately, and as uncomfortable as it makes me feel to admit this, because for some reason people have such distasteful responses towards flat earth stuff, it's almost like you can talk about anything else but flat earth, Sometimes I think like I'm looking forward to the day when people can't, they can no longer deny it. I don't mean deny the flat earth, I mean deny some of the questions that have been posed, like where the fuck is the curvature? Where's the curvature? Like that's a big one, isn't it? And people don't look into it, but we've got all these new technologies and lasers and drones and infrared cameras, and the ability to, these incredible cameras that can take such further away distances now, and you're still just peddled bullshit equations and things that don't make sense, and people think you're ignorant, but they've not looked into it themselves. And I'm not talking about anything too scientific or fanciful anyway. I'm talking about just observations of what you can see, and other sort of simple things that make you ponder, like that water always finds its level. And I've seen loads of different amazing YouTube channels that all have their own sort of particular field of interest and expertise around flat earth observations as well. So I've seen so many things. I saw 1414 then, and I just can't understand the distaste surrounding it. I think there's people just dramatise things way too much, and we all, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, in my little head, in my mind, things are an infinite plane, and what we know as outer space does exist, and stars and planets exist, and they are beings of energy, the sources of energy, or the carriers of energy and information and consciousness, which affects and interweave with our own consciousness. I just think that they're within a system that Earth is a part of. Earth is the centre of an enclosed system, and I don't know about any glass firmaments. I feel like it's potentially more like a plasma state, you know. Again, this is where people are like, oh, you don't even fucking know what you think. Where'd you come up with this? And it's like, where I come up with it is complete, fresh intuition, you know, that's mixed in with what I've, you know, my own education and intuition and experience and whatever, you know. I think, like, how wonderful that we can all be free to ponder these things. I don't think we came from monkeys. I don't think we landed on the moon. And I don't think that we live on a spinning ball, because I can't see any curvature, and neither can anybody else. And when they say they can, it's a fisheye lens. And so many of the original experiments have been contradicted by new evidence with today's technology, and yet still people are just ridiculed and mocked for being so fucking disrespectful and ignorant to science and curriculum and, in my eyes, indoctrination, because I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows. It's the incomprehensible. And that's what's the beauty of it, and that's what can assist you in your internal ascension, you know, pondering the mysteries of the universe, not believing that we're some insignificant piece of shit, you know, flying around in a vast array of danger from aliens and asteroids and all this, and, you know, probably just sort of understanding the earth and the sky and the waters symbiosis, you know, as above, so below, just sort of keeping it close rather than, you know, pushing it all away. The sun is not 93 million miles away. It's not. Nobody would know if it was, but it's definitely not. And there's so much interesting stuff going on in the sky at the moment, so my internal theories ponder forever. But I do feel like that I feel the Earth's resonance, and I kind of understand its place in the collective consciousness as well. Even if this is some egoic game I'm playing on myself, you know, it's kind of a visceral thing that I feel. And so we must just be strong and carry on. Be true to ourselves, be free to express our own expressions and opinions and beliefs and paradigms. We don't all need to fit in within the same one if we're all in the same collective harmonious frequency of love and compassion and benevolence, you know, and the want for better for ourselves and others. It doesn't matter. And I'm constantly, you know, I have very few people actually that I really resonate with, that I watch or connect with on YouTube, and they're all from way different backgrounds, genders, races, ideologies, communities, you know. And so I think it's just more about frequency and essence of yourself and embodying that pureness. And I think probably there is something, you know, with like monad groups or, you know, just genetic resonances or whatever, and that's great. But I think, you know, homogenizing things, the Peace Dealer did a video about why he doesn't class himself as part of this spiritual community, and I really resonated with that. I'm going to put that down beneath actually, because it's just kind of like how I've been feeling at the moment. It's like, yeah, let's all just give ourselves permission to talk about what we want, but to be true to ourselves and to not feel pushed or pulled consciously or unconsciously into somebody else's paradigm, because that's just a different form of indoctrination. Just be true to yourself, understand that it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks, but you've got every right to believe and say and share and speak about what you feel. So anyway, that's enough talking shit for me. I'll do another video soon. Goodbye.